Well, these are the days I really look forward to. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. So this past Saturday, I met up with a friend to hunt an amazing old spot. It's the site of a very old college. Now, this college was established following the Civil War to help educate the freed slaves and offer them a chance at a higher education, as well as teach them trades and skills. It's a fascinating place, just full of history. Now, I have made countless episodes at this spot, and Chris and I have recovered some amazing things from the ground there. But of course, over time, the finds have become pretty scarce, and it's an extremely tough place to metal detect. And I've often wished there was something I could do to wake that spot up a little bit. Well, along comes the Manticore. And I've had this place in the back of my mind ever since I got it. So I decided to head out there and see if the Manticore couldn't wake it up a bit. And I have to say, the Manticore definitely did not disappoint. Well, those who've been watching the channel a long time might recognize this guy.
Been a minute.
Yeah, Jason is out with me. I was going to be in his neck of the woods, so I gave him a ring. He had a few hours to spare this morning, so we're out at one of our favorite places to hunt that we have pounded.
Hammered.
Oh yes, and he's pounded on his own. Jason uses CTX 3030 and the Equinox 800, and I told him, hey, why don't you try the 900 out? So I gave him my 900, and I'm using the Manticore, which I just can't get enough of. And believe it or not, my second signal turned out to be something good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and about 6-7 inches down, and I got a 55 Wheatie Philadelphia Mint. So I'm really happy about that because honestly, I told him, I said, will you find anything here? I'm just going to be so thrilled.
Yep.
Because it is a very hard hit spot right here. So that's a really good start, and hopefully not the end. Well, I just wanted to show this one because this thing gets some really incredible depth. It was, I'd say, about 11 inches, but half a horseshoe, and that dates back to the early parts of this area. This area dates back to the Civil War, and a lot of Victorian stuff found here. Matter of fact, I found the Victorian buckle hoard here, and I might just link that video up at the end of this one. That was a pretty exciting, that was an exciting find that day. And so anyway, I just wanted to show you that because it was way, way down there. Yeah, very impressed. This is actually a pretty interesting signal because I've hunted this in the past, and we found some from Morristown College in the past, which was one of the country's only, one of the very first black colleges established after the Civil War. So I'm kind of hoping this is one of them, but cool. they're pretty hard to find. So, but I do have a spoon in the hole, and believe it or not, it's almost straight up and down. It was giving me a nickel signal, about a 25, and it was also giving me iron, but every hole here has iron in it. Yeah. So Jason had to come over for the reveal. Hopefully it's something. I don't know. Boy, that looks old. Oh wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is.
It does say it.
Yeah, I never found it.
That's the same pattern that I found on the
Really?
Yep.
Oh no, this says Morristown Normal College.
Yep, I think that's what mine.
Isn't that?
Yeah, the one with that pattern on it.
Yeah, I found some that were like MC, but this says M Normal College. Morristown Normal College. Yeah, they renamed it Normal College back in the day. But look at that. That's the first one I found it really had a fancy pattern.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Oh, I'm thrilled. Let me see if I can get this down on the ground.
Awesome.
Oh, this is my best find of the day. I'm thrilled. You can see right here it says M. That's for Morristown Normal College. Silver plate spoon.
Very cool.
Absolutely awesome. I'm so thrilled with that. Might be one of the best ones I've found.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, killer.
That's awesome.
So killer. Good piece of history. Incredible piece of history. Oh man, this is crazy. I cannot believe I found this here. We have pounded this place for 6 years, 7 years, don't know, over and over and over. And I'm coming over with the Manticore. Jason just left. He only had an hour or two, and that figures, because I make a killer find. Oh, I'm gonna have to send the picture on the phone. I don't even know what it is yet, but it was giving me a nice little high tone, but it was a real long smear, you know, like a smear. And I thought, well, I don't get it. I think it was on edge, and it was giving me that smear for that reason. But when I dug a plug, and it said it was off just a hair, so I dug a wide plug around that, not expecting anything, honestly. And it popped up, and look at this. That looks like a silver quarter. I cannot believe it. I mean, this is, that's insane. It's insane. So I'm going to, boy, it looks old too. It could just be Washington. I'll definitely take that if it is, but hoping for something older. It's a very old spot. So I'm gonna, let's just see what it is. Ah, it is a Washington. Very worn, but I will definitely take that. Heck yeah. Silver quarter. Man, I can't believe I found that here. 1940. It's going to be a Philadelphia. Get you in on it there. That is awesome. So cool. I am very happy with that. I just cannot believe it was there. It's just absolutely amazing. Every time I'm out with this Manticore, I just like it more and more and more. So much fun to use. Well, I just want to come back real quick, because now I know why it was giving me such a long signal. This was sitting here, right there, and that was where the quarter was. So some kind of brass threaded piece here, and a silver quarter. So very cool, and just had to show you that. That definitely explains that long signature on the image tracer. Well, I'm going very slow and low with that M8 coil on the Manticore, and this one was giving me a 31. Now I'm getting signals like everywhere, which is just awesome, because this is such a prime location back in the day, and signals were hard to come by back then. Now not so much. Hopefully it continues, but this one was giving me a 31, so I thought, well, probably going to be a pull tab. Let me clear it out. Well, to my surprise, it was not a pull tab, and it was about 5 inches down. But look at this, I got an old button, one that I've never found before. H and P. How cool is that? A little border, a little dotted border along the outside. I have never seen this button before. It appears to be brass. Get you in on it here. Here's the back side. It might be part to a snap, but it's definitely old. Talking 1910, 1930, somewhere in there. And hopefully it's coming through. It's very difficult to see. The sun is glaring on my screen. So, very cool piece. Very happy with that one. And hopefully I can dig up some information on it. That's half the fun. Well, I think I might have hit a little hot spot. At least I hope it continues to be one. This hole, I was getting a really nice high tone, but it said it was pretty deep, and it did turn out to be pretty deep. So the first thing I was able to get out of it was this, and I thought, yeah, it sure looks like a bottle cap to me, but it is not a bottle cap. This is a button. Can you believe that? Very cool. And off a woman's jacket, I would imagine. There's still material, I believe, on the back of this, but definitely an older button. I'm thinking 40s. Could be a little older, but very cool jacket button. And I checked the hole, and there was something still in it, so I dug down another few inches to about, I'd say about 8 inches, and I pulled this out. Now, I didn't think too much about it, but it kind of reminded me of something. And I dug one of these before. It was like a cigar holder, but it's not particularly long. So what I did is I started cleaning this in because I thought I saw something. I'm going to try to get you in on this here. See if it'll focus. There we go. It says Cushman, and it says what does it say? Vincennes, Indiana. And then it says menthol inhaler. So pretty interesting. Definitely old. Very old aluminum too, but when I saw Cushman, I thought, well, scooters and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's another very cool find that I get to spend some time learning about and researching. So very cool, very happy with that. Not much to look at, but interesting piece of American history, hopefully. Well, it's time for the Finding America update, and I have two of them to share with you. The first one concerns what I thought was a drawer pull handle that I found during last week's episode. Well, it turns out that wasn't exactly what that handle was. Luckily, Ken Hurst was watching, and he quickly sent me a message because he recognized that handle, and he let me know that what I'd actually found was a handle to a very old carriage clock. Well, this next update concerns that beautiful silver ring that I also found in last week's episode. Well, thanks to Greg Sabo, I now know quite a bit more about that ring, and it's actually a piece from the Jane Seymour collection, and what I thought were cubic zirconias, those are actually genuine diamond chips in it. So that's pretty cool, and I like the ring even more, especially since Jane Seymour co-starred in one of my all-time favorite movies, a movie called Somewhere in Time. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for all your help and also for being in the very first Finding America update segment. Now, this is pretty cool because I know what happened on this very ground where I found this. Just about 10-15 yards from here, there was a large home that had a lot of African American women about 120, 130 years ago living there, and they taught home economics, baking, cooking, sewing, hat making, all sorts of trades and skills to the women. And I pulled this out, so it was pretty cool because it's a cast iron skillet, and it was probably one of the pans that they used all that time ago. So very cool. And then I pulled this out, I got another signal underneath it, and I got this, another piece related to the culinary arts here. And actually, no, I thought it was going to be a salt shaker, but I think the holes, the size of the holes, this one's going to be a talcum powder shaker top. So another cool piece, and one that the women we've used about 130, even 140 years ago at this spot. So very neat. Well, I just decided to come right back and show you. I was fishing around the hole, I kept getting more signals, and I found two more pieces to the original griddle pan, and this one still has one of the feet on it. So pretty cool, and definitely a piece they would have used. And I also found this too, some kind of a iron door, possibly to an oven, but it's got a little hinge right there, so kind of cool. Just thought I'd show you those, and yeah, I'm gonna grab my detector, keep on going. Well, still working this newly exposed ground here. Pretty cool piece, another piece from the history of the big Victorian that sat above me on the rise here. It's an old air reed, and looks like it's probably going to go to a pump organ. So, very cool, and just about every Victorian home back in the day would have had a pump organ in the parlor. And that's another nice little piece from the history of this place. So, yeah, there's all kinds of signals here. Well, the wind is starting to kick up, and while it feels good, it's not great for filming. So I am trying to shield the camera the best I can. I just got a dropped clad quarter right on top of the ground right here. And then I moved over, got a 71 signal, and I dug down and I got a very nice old wheat penny. And this one's going to be a 44 from the Philadelphia Mint. So very happy to see that. It's in great shape too. And really enjoying digging this ground that they must have pushed over the hillside over the summer. And yeah, hadn't had a coil over it, so a lot of nice targets, and I'm just digging all the garbage, tons of garbage, and every once in a while there's a cool find. Well, unfortunately, the signals are starting to become a bit thin at that spot. So I decided I was going to move a little further down the hill. Now, of course, this is also an area that Chris and I have pounded to death in the past. But I was hoping the Manticore might find something down there. And after a while, I came across this crazy iron patch. And the Manticore started pulling some really great things out of that very thick iron. Well, I'm hoping there's something very cool in the hole. I have no idea. I was just swinging along, and signals are few and far between down here. I got like a 41, 42. Sounded pretty good. It was just surrounded by iron, tons of iron. I cut the plug, I flipped it over. The plug kind of separated, and then I saw it. Check this out. Something round. Right there, see that? Oh boy. I'm assuming like token, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything. Let's just find out what this is to get. Oh, check it out. I think it's a Chinese cash coin. Oh, that's so awesome. Absolutely love digging these. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You know, I dug one of these, oh, shoot, probably 500 yards from here last year, I think, and it was from the 1600s. And that is another Chinese cash coin. Wow, that's awesome. I think that makes the third or fourth one for this area that I found. Well, let me work on it a little bit and make sure that's what it is, and it isn't just a really nice looking washer. Well, I cleaned it off just a little bit with an Andre pencil. Definitely a cash coin, but this style has that wide band around it. Just seems to be a really old one. It's definitely got some wear. Might be a challenge trying to figure out the characters, but I'm thrilled with that. Totally thrilled with that. Probably, well, yep, definitely the oldest find I've made today. And it's amazing how I find these here. I'd love to know how they ended up here. Well, this one was giving me a 41 to 43. I dug down. That's pretty cool. It's the old Bakelite plug, outlet plug. So yeah, it's going to be like 20s, 30s. Here comes that wind again. It's brutal out here right now. But I always enjoy digging these up. I love finding the really fancy ones. This is a pretty basic one. Probably came from the old school. Well, this one was giving me a 64 in between all the iron. I mean, the iron's so thick it's almost constant. After clearing about 5 nails out, I think I finally have something down at the bottom of the hole here. I don't know what it is, but it had an interesting shape, so I decided to grab the camera. Yeah, look at that right there. Some kind of heavy brass, possibly. Huh. It's pretty cool. I have no idea. It almost seems like iron on the end here. I thought at first maybe it was like a key or a clock winder. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's definitely old, and I definitely like it. It's very heavy too. So, very cool find. And yeah, the M8 coil on the Manticore. Man, I'll tell you, that's a combination that I have. Everywhere I go, it wakes up these old spots, and this spot is one of the most beat ones I have. So, and here I am finding cool stuff. I love it. Going low and slow with that M8, and I picked this one out of the iron. There's iron everywhere. It is just nuts here. But this is the kind of hunting I love because it just takes patience and perseverance. I mean, you just have to go slow and pick the high tones out. When I mean high tones, this one was a 28, not exactly your normally high tone, but it's very cool. Check it out. I think it's the top to a perfume bottle because look here. It says Richard Hudnut, New York, which if you watch the channel, I found a lot of Richard Hudnut products, and this one's going to be pretty darn old, probably early 1900s, possibly a little bit earlier. But isn't that cool, that cap? And I wonder what kind of little finial it had on top here. But yeah, that's a great piece, and I'm definitely happy to have that one. I tell you, this is why I tell everyone, dig it all, dig it all, dig it all. Okay, right here is where I got the Chinese cash coin on edge and a bunch of iron. It was just surrounded by iron. And then I moved up, got the same signal, same numbers, 41 to 43, and this time it was that outlet plug. So, you know, it could be an outlet plug or it could be a Chinese cash coin. You never know. So I started digging around here, started digging the big iron. I actually love digging big iron. You just never know when you're going to hit something cool. But I got these, and unfortunately none of them are railroad spikes, so no tree photo yet. But then I got this, and I know the wind's kicking up and it's changing directions on me. So I'm trying to find a place. But this one was giving me another 40, 41 signal. I knew it was iron. But I'm like, well, let's dig it up. Hopefully it's something interesting, and boy, is it ever. It's been a while since I dug one of these up, but I love digging them up. Check it out. It's a sad iron. That is an iron, complete cast iron, sad iron. Now, it would have had a wooden handle that would have attached right here. You would have heated this on top of the stove, and it's a pretty good one. It's probably 5 pounds. So I am so thrilled to have that. A lot of times I'll have the maker's mark up here. But look at that. I love these things. And it's another great piece from that old Victorian that sits up on the rise. Because they were teaching these African American women, you know, classes on everything from hat making, dress making, you know, just all types of domestic services. And they came here to learn how to do that stuff, cooking and ironing and everything. So this was probably one of the irons that they used in the late 1800s during their courses, and probably just during living there. So it's a great piece. It's an awesome piece of history, and I'm so happy to have that. So, do you want to see one of the most mind-blowing holes that I've ever dug in my entire life? Well, if you do, just stick around to the end of this episode, where I have a link to an amazing episode from the Finding America archives waiting there for you. You're going to love this one. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.